Callum, and Porterfield. Oh, Porterfield has scored.
A block by Tommy Wright Phillips again, and Sunderland has...
Hello, so it's finished. Sunderland 1, Millwall 0. Big win, a big 3 points today. Now, surrounding all the noise before the game of the defensive issues that we have. Obviously, the defeat against Coventry before the international break. A big response from the lads today, and I say a great 3 points. And despite all that noise around them defensive issues, we only made one change to the starting lineup today. Alan Brown came in at right back. Trey Hume moved to left back, so we started off with a lineup of Anthony Patterson in goal, a back four of Alan Brown, Chris Mepham, Luke O'Nien, Trey Hume. In midfield we had Dan Neil, Job, Chris Rigg with Patrick Roberts, Romain Mundle and Wilson Isidore continuing up front. Now the bench had a load of under-21s on with the likes of Ollie Bainbridge, Ben Middlemiss, Harrison Jones, Milan Alexic, and the like. So the only experienced players that we had really was Eliza Mienda and Tommy Watson, who have kind of played quite a bit of the season. And we actually should have scored in the first couple of minutes. It was a really good move. We started fast, cross whipped in the box. It was a great chance. I think it might have been Wilson Isidore was at the end of the ground. Shot against the keeper. Great chance in the first minute. Just put your foot through it, and it's 1-0. And after that, the game kind of evened up a little bit. But after that first start that we had, the game was kind of even. There was both teams were kind of giving it away a little bit, and it was a little bit sloppy and a little bit of a one of them games where we couldn't keep out of the ball for more than 5 minutes. But then 20 minutes, a great goal, a well-worked corner. Roberts takes the corner to Mundle, short corner. Mundle to Roberts. Roberts floats a ball to the back post, and Trey Hume with a right foot volley smashes it in. It's 1-0 and it's off the training ground. And you can see that I think it was a Proctor training ground move, because after the goal they all ran across to Michael Proctor while giving them the high fives. And it was a really well worked goal. A great cross from Roberts and a great finish from Trey Hume. And from there you're hoping that we're going to go on and just take the game by the scruff of the neck and kill teams off. But the criticism that we've had, over recent months is that we didn't kill teams off, and we always seem to make things hard for ourselves, and we couldn't get that second goal. We're getting at half time 1-0, and you're hoping that will come out in the second half, and like you say, start off the same way, try and get that second goal and put Millwall to bed. Now, to be fair, we were the better team. Millwall didn't offer anything today. We could have easily won that game by 3 or 4 goals. We're just not ruthless enough to take the chances. We created more than enough chances in the second half to kill the game off. More so than the penalty, which I'll discuss a little bit later, because that's probably the biggest talking point of today. But we created numerous chances. Patrick Roberts today was really good. He was getting on the ball. He was unplayable at times. Some of his trickery in his wing play, turning their full back inside out. Was unlucky not to get a goal. He rifled a couple of shots today, but much better today from Patrick Roberts. In midfield, Job and Chris Rigg I thought played really well today in midfield as well. Job must have covered every blade of grass on the pitch today, and Chris Rigg, a lot of graft and a lot of the dirty work in midfield, winning second balls and putting tackles in, nicking the ball out for throw-ins. But a special mention for me today goes to Alan Brown. Came in at right back. We've restricted Millwall as a back four to one effort on goal, and I think that's testament to him. He's come in there and he's slotted him, and he's had a really solid performance today. So well done, Alan Brown. But like I say, we just couldn't get that second goal. We were a lot better in the second half than we were in the first, but we just couldn't get that killer goal. Now the penalty, Bobby Madley, who we know as a referee, in my opinion, has been shocking for a number of years, and today was no different. He missed 2 stonewall penalties in my eyes before he actually gave the one he gave. A blatant penalty on Romain Mundle. Now, this is where I'm going to have a bit of a moan, because where's the leadership and who in the right mind gives the penalty to Luke O'Nien? Dan Neil's made the choice to give it to him. where really there should be 8 or 9 players in front of Dan Neil for to take a penalty. Now, I just didn't get that. I didn't get that decision at all. Now surely something must be discussed in preparations for the game that if we get a penalty, this is what happens. You would see when the penalty was given, Romain Mundle wanted to take it, was clearly not happy that he was taken off it. Wilson Isidore wanted to take it, wasn't given it. Me personally would have given it to Romain Mundle, but you could have had Roberts could have took it, Isidore could have took it, Job could have took it, Dan Neil, anybody before Luke O'Nien, and as it proved, this is what happened. Now, it's a shocking penalty. It's a really, really poor penalty. And from that, the last 5 minutes of the game, we're hanging on. We sat deeper and deeper and deeper, and we were hanging on. Now, that should have killed the game off. And that's the only really, really bad criticism from today, is that penalty decision could have really come back and bit us on the arse. It didn't, thankfully, with getting the 3 points, but a really, really stupid decision. And Dan Neil as captain, really, really poor choice. Really poor choice to give Luke O'Nien that penalty this afternoon. But anyway, it hasn't really affected the result. We've hung on and we've won 3 points. It's, like I said, it's a big, big 3 points. Massive win. We now go to West Brom next week. Hoping we can continue that run and get this momentum up into the playoffs. Results this weekend, Leeds have fucked it again. They've conceded a 96-minute equaliser against Swansea this afternoon at home, which means Sheffield United are now 2 points clear at the top of the league. I think Burnley are now level on points with Leeds. So Leeds, are they about to do what they did last season and the arses fall out and bottle it and end up in the playoffs? Me personally, I hope not, because I didn't really want to play them in the playoffs anyway. But it's an interesting now scenario at the top of the league, where Burnley could even rotate them as well. So interesting times in them top 3. But for us, though, that's pretty much just about secured our playoff spot. I think we're now 15 points clear of 7th place with 21 points to play for. So we're almost there. We're almost there. Player ratings today, Anthony Patterson didn't really have much to do. Did what he had to do. So 7 out of 10 for Pato. I thought the back 4, like I say, because it was disrupted, I thought were immense today. So, Alan Brown, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 because he slotted in there seamlessly and had a really, really good game. Mackem, again, a solid performance against a tough performer. Him and Luke O'Nien handled Josh Coburn very well. Big lad, strong lad. Both did very, very well. So Luke O'Nien and Mackem, 8 each. And Trey Hume for his goal and his performance, 8 out of 10 as well. In midfield, I thought Dan Neil didn't have his best performance. He struggled to get into the game again today, similar to how he was against Coventry. So 6 out of 10 for Dan Neil. Job and Chris Rigg, I thought they were immense today in midfield. So 8 out of 10 for them too. Mundle, you can see he's still getting back to fitness, but he was a threat down that right-hand side. So I'm going to give Roberts down the left-hand side. Mundle down the left-hand side. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Roberts, I thought, was really, really good today. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. In fact, no, I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10 and give him man of the match. I thought he was immense today. He got his assist, and he was a threat all day long down that right-hand side. Isidore, again, struggled to get in the game. He had a great chance in the second half with another header. He put it straight down the goalkeeper's throat. Either side, it's a goal. But he still grafted and worked. But you can see, I would still prefer to see Miyenda in that centre-forward position. But 6.5 out of 10 for Wilson Isidore. But overall, it's a big, big win. It's a big 3 points. I just want to say I hope the fan who took bad this afternoon in the second half, hope he makes a full recovery, and I hope all is well. Because it wasn't a big delay, I'm hoping it's not as serious as what it obviously it's serious, but hopefully it's not as serious as what it could have been with it only being a short delay. But I hope all is well with the fan. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below of the overall performance and what you thought of today's game. But happy Sunderland fans tonight. Big win, big 3 points. On to West Brom next week. And enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Have a great Mother's Day tomorrow. All the mothers out there, enjoy your day. And we'll see you during the week. Take it easy, stay safe, and we'll speak soon. Ta-ra.